Well, good morning everybody. Welcome to my new video log series for Dirty Wet Dog. This is a complete change of direction, so better explain what's going on. It's late March 2021 and I don't have a boat now. I sold my last boat last year. But what I've decided to do is I want to build my next boat, and this week the plans for my hopefully next boat arrived, and so this series is going to be all about the build, you know, all of the hopefully the interesting stuff and the problems I go through as I expect to happen. So I thought better to just kind of say hello and also explain a little bit about the boat and what I'm doing right now. So, if you like, week one and take one. Actually, not take one. I've tried to video this morning. Tried to video outside, and as soon as I set up the camera, the battery ran out. So a new battery. Set up for take two. Lorry pulled up outside, started unloading blocks. Start again, take three. The school, which is about 200 metres away, turned out for lunchtime, so it's all squealing and shouting. Take four, can't remember what happened in take four. Take five, perhaps? So, I'm going to build from these plans, and these plans are for a John Welsford design. John Welsford being a Kiwi designer. The boat is called Pathfinder, and that is a kind of the largest cruising dinghy come day boat you could probably find. The boat's going to be 17'4" long, 6 foot wide, probably weighing about 450 to 500 pounds, and I'm going to do it right here. Plans arrived, so I've got the instructions, which I've been working my way through, and laid out on the bench, just sort of in camera view, is one of the plans sheets, and I pulled this one out because I want to do a project first, a project within the project. And what this sheet is, I'll try and show you in a moment. These are the drawings for just one component of the boat, and this is the centerboard and its casing. And I fancy doing that first because it has a lot of complex processes which I've never done before, and I thought, well, maybe that will get me into the whole process of building the boat before I start on the construction, if you like. Now the actual construction isn't going to happen in here because the workshop is too small. The workshop is only about 14 feet on this dimension, and I have about 7 feet behind me to work in. So, you know, most of the boat will be stuck outside and I won't be able to get down the sides. So what I'm going to do in the workshop is I'm going to do the building or cutting, marking out, cutting and making of the components, with the frames, the bulkheads, things like the centerboard, the rudder and so on. And the actual construction is going to be outside, not in the open air. It's actually going to be under a shelter, but I haven't built the shelter yet. So whereas I'm going to start making parts for the boat, the main construction won't happen until summer and until I've built the shelter, which will be hopefully during either April or May, depends which way round I do some of the work. So that's it, that's kind of what I'm going to do. End of day 2 in the workshop. What have I been doing today? Pre-build week. Well, for the first time ever since I built this bench, it's almost empty, which is amazing because it's normally covered in rubbish. And what I spent virtually all of today doing is moving my pillar drill, which is a bench mounted pillar drill, which was originally in a different position in the workshop. It's on the wall behind the camera, but this because the workshop slopes from behind me to in front of me, it had to be set in a really awkward position, because when I got it the right height to kind of work at. The motor head was jammed up against the roof and I couldn't change the speeds. So, and one thing I wanted to do when I built this bench, which is the new bench, is to have it on the bench in here, and I did that. And I had a similar kind of problem because I got a very high bench, and it was the same thing. It was jammed up against the roof again. So I had to modify the bench to have a sub frame underneath it with a sub bench on it, and then have the base of the pillar drill mounted on that. And I've just moved it again to give me a tiny bit more space this side, bring it forward a bit and bring it up a bit. And I think I've just achieved probably the maximum space I can in here. And I'm just working out what to do with my vices. Vices? Do I have vices? Yeah, I definitely have vices. Obviously woodworking vice and a metalwork vice and a bad boat habit. But at the moment I haven't mounted them, mainly because what I found is with boat projects, is I tend to clamp things to the bench rather than clamp them in a vice. And one of my outstanding jobs at the moment is that my clamps are all on the back of the rolling tool rack, and so I can't get to them. So the next stage in here will be, just finding somewhere for the clamps to live all the time. And it's these little things that are going to make the project either doable in here or just massively frustrating in here. So that's the next bit. But I'm kind of nearly there with the workshop. I think I'm going to edge the bench again. It just needs some hardwood edges, just so they don't get knocked about too much, because all this is the plywood top. And I just again looking through more of the plans. I just discovered today that I've got total of 3 notebooks in here with scraps of notes on, which is probably why I can't find them when I need them. But I think we're kind of ready to rock.